Good morning, friends. You're tuned to Car Connection, where the coffee's strong, the stories are real, and the wrenches never stop turning. I'm your host, Niall Motormouth Jenkins, coming to you from the Car Connection Workshop, where the smell of fresh oil and little elbow grease is all part of our balanced breakfast here. And around here, we don't just talk cars, we live them. Whether it's a 25-year-old Jeep Wrangler getting a second chance at life, or a Nissan Rogue getting its brakes back in order, or perhaps a mystery leak that's got everyone here in the Car Connection Workshop scratching their heads sideways. This is where we roll up our sleeves and we just get it done with a little wit, a little wisdom, and a whole lot of fun. Car Connection isn't about nuts, bolts, and diagnostics. It's about connection. Connection to our vehicles, to the people who drive them, and to the community that keeps Niagara rolling. Because when you fix a car, you're not just turning a wrench. You're restoring someone's confidence, freedom, and maybe even their sanity. We're here every week, Monday through Saturday. Join us for the Motormouth morning drive at 8 a.m., and we're helping to keep your ride safe, reliable, and ready for whatever road lies ahead. So whether you're a weekend wrencher, a daily commuter, or someone who just wants to understand what that strange rattle really means, welcome aboard and stick around for shop talk, expert advice, and a few laughs, and maybe even a story or two that's real. Yes, in the Car Connection Workshop, we are keeping it real. Well, good morning and happy Tuesday to you. If you're just scooting through the drive-thru, as a reminder, always check your order. I'm just saying. Stuff happens, if you know what I mean. Is it just me that, through the drive-thru, I'm 2.5 kilometers down the road, I take a sip and I go, what the heck is that? That's not what I ordered. Yeah, that's not a good start to a day. It just isn't. So before you pull out, no matter if Buddy is laying on the horn behind you and flashing the lights, it's your order. It's your morning drive. Take control of it. So lock your favorite morning beverage down in your cup holder and keep an eye on the road and watch out for the other guy this morning. Hey, why don't we get our morning swiggy out of the way? So if you're just joining us, we always have a cup together and enjoy a swiggy, whatever your favorite morning beverage is. Just raise that cup high. We count it down, 3, 2, 1. And here in the Car Connection Workshop, we have a swiggy together. Are you ready? 3, 2, 1. That's magical right there. Yeah. I need a moment. You ever have that? Coffee tastes so good, or whatever your morning beverage is, and you just go, yeah, I just need another moment. All right, let's get things smoking hot this morning. Let's say thank you to our program partners and our recommended businesses, because these are the fellas and fellettes that make our YouTube channel, Facebook, Instagram, iHeartRadio, and wherever you pull your podcasts from. We're on every platform around this rock we're spinning on. So just type in the search bar, Car Connection Workshop, and you will find us. So let's say thank you to those program partners that have been with us, as we wrapped up in the latter part of 2025, 31 years of our live call-in automotive program, Car Connection, on the air on a number of radio stations, Canada and the U.S. Yeah, I wanted to reach more people. And how do we do that? Through podcasting and through you joining our community, our Car Connection community, by visiting us anytime on our website. All our links are there for you at carconnectionbusinessnetwork.com. I always make reference to that in the description of every one of our YouTube videos. We shot 3 videos yesterday. We do 3 videos bright and early, 7 a.m. Monday mornings, and get them up and edited and ready for publish. So you get fresh information every single week. And all the links are easy for you to find. So you go to ccbusnet.com. That's the short version. On the home page, you'll see all the logos for our program partners and recommended businesses that make Car Connection possible, Next Generation 2.0. And you'll also see our merch store. And when you purchase some merch, it helps to support those who are going through addictions of any kind, type, and description, and that they have access to getting help, the right help that they need to get past that. So we're not looking to make $1 million off of our merch. Yeah, we are, because that just means more money for Total Freedom Daring Center, New York, which is a campus for addictions open to Canadian residents as well. We have Total Freedom Sydney, Manitoba, Canada. That is a men-only campus facilitated by Rick and Robin, and they know their stuff because they've walked that path. So when you purchase Motormouth merch on our merch store, you just consider this. You're helping someone to get there that needs help. Because with addictions, if you've known someone who's been struggling with an addiction, you can't do it on your own. And I have experienced that. They think they can, but they can't. But when that moment comes where they're willing to eat lima beans 7 days a week, 365 days a year, they're ready to get that new life that waits for them. So check out Total Freedom Daring Center, New York. That's a campus open to men and women and Canadians as well. Total Freedom Sydney, Manitoba. That's a men-only campus. A new life awaits you. So if someone you know, a coworker, get them to our website and click on the logo for Total Freedom and let them see the campus, the people, hear the testimonies of those who have received a brand new life. Thank you to Niagara Block at 5000 Montrose Road in Niagara Falls, building Canada since 1931. Building supplies, hardscape, landscaping materials so that you can prepare to build your special getaway. I call it the Oasis. And, towards the end of January, beginning of February is a great time to connect with professional landscapers to get on their calendar and start talking about putting that together. Get in touch with Niagara Block. Their customer service is over the moon. You will love them there. They will help you to figure out products, what you're looking for, or the specific look that you're looking for. They'll help you put all those details together. Our certified financial planning professionals, Tony Miele and Larry Tetro, combined have 50 years experience. They're there for you to get answers to your financial questions. If you have a portfolio with the bank, you really need to work to get that out of there so that you're making money on your money. And that money that's parked there is working hard for you, not pulled over and the handbrake's on and you're just getting pittance. And I can say that because I've experienced it, friends have experienced it, and I pointed their compass needle over towards Tony and Larry, and things change, and they get excited. So they work with you to retire debt, estate planning, powers of attorney, wills, and the whole package, mortgages, life insurance, and critical illness insurance. And you, because you're connected to me, have access to an hour and a coffee discovery meeting. So that's getting your questions answered. And I always share this. My professor would always say, don't take advice from anyone that's not standing where you want to be. Be respectful, but they're giving you advice and they're not where you want to be. So book your hour and a coffee, your discovery meeting. There's no pressure, no sales, no condemnation. They're going to be an ear to listen and see what it is you want to accomplish, and they will formulate a game plan for you and get that going. I work with both Tony and Larry. They're my brothers from other mothers. They're two of the best CFPs, certified financial planning professionals in all of Canada, and they've been recognized for that. And I'll tell you what, you'll love working with either one. Thank you to Rita and Ramiz Shanuda at Rainbow Motors and Garage in Scarborough, Ontario, Canada. Sales and service that, yes, you can trust. You can purchase a vehicle there and have it serviced there. They fix whatever year, make, or model of vehicle you have, and up to and including light commercial vehicles. If you're looking for a specific vehicle, they do have inventory. But if there's something that you're looking for specific that will work for your needs, let them know. They have the resources to find that specific vehicle just for you. Rainbow Motors and Garage, sales and service that you can trust. And to Earl and Louise Grant, they're my other parents. Yeah, they're fantastic people. They're both car guys and have been for over 25 years. They sell no junk at City Auto Sales and Leasing. They have in-house financing available for you. So if you have good credit, bad credit, or in the toilet credit, you know what I'm talking about. They can work with you at City Auto Sales and Leasing. They provide low mileage, high quality vehicles at fair prices. They're Greater Toronto Area's premier pre-owned auto store, and they do have a large inventory. And again, if you don't see on their website, which you can get to through our Car Connection Business Network.com website, just click on their logo for any one of these businesses and it will open so you can see all the details. Connect with them, let them know what you're looking for specifically, and let Earl and Louise do the legwork. 25 years in the car business, they have lots of resources to save you 1,000 steps. And thank you to Crystal Ridge Dream Center. They are a faith-based nonprofit organization serving men, women, and children meals, love, and hope, and changing lives one at a time in the Niagara region. They feed out the door Tuesdays and Friday. And I'll tell you, today the volunteers will be super busy. They're getting ready for the Christmas giveaway, which is coming up later part of the week, where everything in the box, including gifts and food, everything is there for Christmas Day at no cost to those families that have applied. But they will feed over 200 people today and Friday. And the numbers, they tell me, are climbing. So if you feel pressed to do something to help the kids, men, women, children, widows, seniors, and single moms, and those that are just, you know what, they've hit rock bottom. That's what Crystal Ridge Dream Center is all about. So connect. Connect with them on our website and find a place where perhaps maybe you could do something that you can't do yourself. All of us. They're doing everything they can to change those lives one at a time in the entire Niagara region, right in our own backyard. And I love that. And Car Connection has always aligned with a nonprofit, faith-based organization in the Niagara region for many, many decades now. All right, I have a tech tip for you this morning. Yes, I do. I did not leave you stranded this morning without a tech tip. And I have 4 things, possibly 5 things that I'm going to talk to you about this morning. SRS, ABS, skid control, stability control. How many of those 5 things, I'm going to plant the seed in your head this morning. Not too deep, no deep, some deep, maybe deep. How many of those could you explain? If I asked you, explain me something, Lucy, could you do it? If I said, hey, tell me about how the skid control works on your car. Could you explain it? No? I didn't think so. Well, we're going to try and shed some light on those things because this time of year, icy, snowy, road-covered surfaces make driving interesting, along with those people out there that are practicing how to drive, if you know what I mean. Man, I used to really enjoy driving. And now I prefer to stay off the stinking road. Am I the only one who's thinking that way? Like, when go up to my brother-in-law's cottage late in the season, usually around September, by the time we do all kinds of fundraising events and car shows and stuff through the summer months, I'm usually the last one to keep the door swinging at my brother-in-law's cottage. Once we get out of the area, like St. Catharines, Niagara Falls, St. Catharines, Beamsville, Grimsby, Stony Creek, Hamilton, Burlington, Oakville, Guelph, and I get on that. I always take the 407. I do. I then feel like I can release the steering wheel a little bit with my white knuckles and breathe. I feel the stress starting to come down. Am I the only one that experiences that? Let me know in one of our YouTube videos. You can put a comment. Put your comment down below and send that off to me. I always check my comments. Send me an email through carconnectionbusinessnetwork.com. You can also click on the link on the homepage, right-hand top corner, Stevensville on the web.ca. Click on the businesses tab and open our profile. You can send me an email through there. If you can hear that, the neighbor's dog it's a morning ritual. When they let them out, I know it's about this time in the morning. Yeah, every day. That's right, every day. So if my watch stops working, I know what time it is when the neighbor's dog goes outside and has a freak out in the backyard. So, it's crazy on the roads. So be careful out there. Don't get caught in that trap of driving like those people. They're just so radical. Changing lanes, flying down the soft shoulder, cutting back into traffic. What they don't realize is they're counting on no one shifts their space, if you know what I'm saying. Every car that they're flying in and out of, no one decides to just make a quick lane change. That's what, I don't know if that goes through their head at all at high speeds, the speed they're traveling, but that's all it takes is for, a senior that's intimidated by the highway and the amount of traffic and just kind of staying in the slow lane. And these guys are bobbing in and out. All it takes is for one of those elderly people to be shook a little bit, and they make a sharp turn and a wiggle waggle, I call it, and bam, they clip them, and it's a big disaster at that point. But I honestly don't think the people out there driving so erratically have any of that thought in their mind whatsoever. That could there possibly be someone who's not really paying attention, the light's on, but, nobody's home and they're behind the wheel and they're in their zone. They're thinking about yesterday or, the argument they had with their wife the night before, or the grandkids aren't doing well, and somebody makes a lane change last minute, huge pileup, and lives could be lost. And that's what segues into today's discussion. SRS, ABS, skid control, stability control. Is any of that really going to save your butt? Well, stick around, because that's what we're going to talk about. But I have a Motormouth moment for you this morning. Yes, I do. I didn't forget. Here's a little tidbit. That sticky gas pedal ain't normal. And I'll tell you a little story about that I experienced myself one day on the Hamilton Mountain on the way to our repair shop. And it was like the weather right now down here on the south shores of Lake Erie. We have about a foot of snow. How about you guys? Let me know how much snow you got in your area. Got any wimpy places out there? Well, I'll bet you if I got in the car right now and drove to St. Catharines, Niagara Falls, I'd be surprised if you had a half-inch to maybe a 2-inch dusting. But we had a snowfall and like a blizzard-type weather yesterday morning. Late morning into the afternoon was zero visibility for about an hour and a half. And then it calmed down and stopped having its snow convulsion. All right, so that sticky gas pedal is not normal. So if you're pushing on that gas pedal, it feels kind of odd, then it needs to be checked. Motormouth here. If your gas pedal feels sticky or sluggish in the heat, it could be a dirty throttle cable. It could be a dirty throttle body issue. A quick cleanup with the right spray can bring back smooth response to that gas pedal. So here's my tip for you. Don't ignore that. It's not just annoying. It can affect your fuel economy too, but it is a safety issue. And I'll tell you briefly what happened to me one morning, just like today. We went into single digits last night, so it's cold enough outside to freeze the knots off a tree here on the south shores of Lake Erie, let me tell you. Yeah, make sure you bundle up when you go out there. It is winter here, and we have had winter here for several weeks, and it has been extremely windy and cold. The overnight lows have been just teetering on single digits. So I'm on my way to the shop. I'm driving my, at that time was a customized F-150 extra cab long box pickup truck. And all of a sudden, I pushed the gas pedal, and it went like wide open throttle. So the engine's like screaming. I mean, it is having a convulsion under the hood. And it took me by surprise because it happened so quickly. So I pulled off to the soft shoulder, and I've got both feet on the brake. And here's how your brain works. And it's so simple. How do you stop that from happening? Reach down and shut it off. That's all. Shut the stinking car off. But at that moment, do you think my brain put it all together and just said, oh, just reach down, turn it off, and then get out and have a look, see what's going on? No, I didn't do that. So I've got one set of rear wheels burrowing itself to Australia, and gravel flying. The wheels went right through the snow and the ice, right to the gravel, and it's spitting gravel, and I feel the truck going down, down, down. The back axle's going down. Then I finally just decided, oh, well, I'll just turn it off. So now the truck is buried on the side of the road, and I get out, I pop the hood, and my carburetor had completely iced over because it wasn't fuel injected. It was a high-performance 305, and this thing had a lot of power. And so I go, wow, that's totally like iced over. And I was literally walking distance to the shop at this point, so I just walked down to the shop, unlocked, turned all the lights on, grabbed some carb cleaner and some de-icer, came back, and by that time the heat from the engine had melted the ice, the accelerator was released, and it was in idle position. But it happened so fast, and it took me by surprise. But after that happened, I thought, this could happen to anyone, and the throttle could stick. And if that happens, get out of traffic, get it over to the side, just reach down and shut it off. That's it. You don't have to try and fight it, because I'll tell you, I had my work boots on, and I was pushed back in the seat. I had both feet on the brake pedal, and the back wheel is still just spinning, and gravel's flying everywhere, and the engine's just screaming. But did I think, just reach down, turn it off? No. It took a little bit for my brain to catch up with the scenario. Yeah, just turn it off. All right, let's jump into this morning's discussion. I wanted to bring a couple things to your attention that you really need. Here's where I'm going to give you some really good advice. And it's going to be as boring as all get out, okay? So you're probably going to need to prop your eyelids open with a couple of spoons with 3/8 holes in. But if you do what I tell you, you are going to learn a plethora, a treasure trove of knowledge. Let's jump into SRS first. What is it? Safety Restraining System. That is your airbag system. All right? When they first came out, people were panicking. Oh, this thing's gonna freaking kill us. It's gonna put my head in the back seat on the back deck of the rear window. And we've gotten comfortable with it now. And it does. The safety restraining system saves lives. No doubt about it. I personally know people, if you saw their vehicle and saw what was left of it and they walked away, that wouldn't have happened. 25, 30 years ago, that wouldn't have happened. They wouldn't be here. But you got to have a little bit of understanding and some respect for the safety restraining system. If you're driving a vehicle and the airbag light is on, here's what I got to tell you. You're not protected. Do you know that? Yeah, if you're putting that off, you're not protected. That means your SRS system is not capable of functioning. So when the SRS light is on, you need to get that checked. Find out which airbag, which controller is not working. And let me tell you, life is short enough. And if your safety restraining system has some simple, I call it simple because it is a simple system for us to diagnose. When we scan it, it'll tell us which airbag has got the problem and replace it. Yeah, you can't buy used ones. You got to buy a new one. But here's the thing. If you didn't replace it and the light's been on for like a year, 2 years, whatever, you've been driving in an unsafe vehicle, something happens and someone in your family or someone in your vehicle that was in your hands gets killed or seriously injured, how would you feel about that? I often talk about our automobiles. We really don't think when it comes to our automobiles. We don't. And quite often we'll put money ahead of safety, and we shouldn't. Because you're out there on the roads, people are driving in excess of 135, 140 K an hour and getting away with it. And it only takes, like I said earlier in the program this morning, a senior or somebody that's intimidated by being on the highway and really doesn't want to be there, and they're hanging in the slow lane, and something shocks them, scares them, and they make a little turn to the left, and you clip one of these clowns that's driving at 135, 140 in excess of, and someone gets killed or seriously injured for the rest of their life. So the safety restraining system is there to protect you and your occupants, whoever that may be that's in your care in your automobile. So if that SRS light is on and flagging a defect in the system, it can't work. You're not protected. And here's what a lot of people say. Well, whatever airbag's affected, that's the one that's not going to work. Well, which one is it? Then that's the person that's at high risk. If something should ultimately go wrong, heaven forbid, but it happens, you can't change it after it's done. And could you live with, what? We should have got that fixed, honey. Regardless of the cost, we should have just figured it out and got it fixed. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Is the systems are there to assist us, but they can't assist us if there's a defect in the system. Number 2, skid control and stability control. I'm going to talk about those first, and then we'll wrap up with ABS, anti-lock braking systems. I have more acronyms on my 2007 Toyota FJ Cruiser than I can even begin to tell you. But how did I learn about them? I had to read the manual. And I'm not ashamed to say that, because you know what? You can't know everything. I know something. I haven't put my finger on that yet, but you can't know everything. And you can't go off of hearsay, rumor, and popular opinion. What does this mean? And, you always have those armchair warriors, and I allow them to be absolutely 100% correct, even when I know they're like way out in the rhubarb patch, because you know what? I just say no to drama. If they want to be right and they think they're right, I'm going to let them be right. That's it. One day they're going to go, everybody always says I'm right. I wonder why they're doing that. I wonder why they might start thinking, people always say, yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. Well, the only way you're really going to understand anti-skid, skid control, stability control, and I've got 3 others that I really can't even remember. I really need to do a quick refresher in my owner's manual and look them up and sit there with a big bowl of buttered, salted popcorn and dig in to my owner's manual and learn the aspects of those systems, how they truly work on your year specific make and model, because they're all a little different. So if I told you how mine works, that's probably not how yours works. So that's why I say the only way you're really going to learn it, it's going to be boring, but then again, you know what? It might just turn out to be a really good night. Is make sure you're not too tired when you open that owner's manual, which are usually in pristine condition, I might add, because nobody's reading up about how their car actually works. So when it comes to those areas, 4-wheel drive, rear-wheel drive, real-time 4-wheel drive, anti-skid control, stability control, you need to learn what they mean and how they work so that you get a better connection with the automobile that you are driving. Okay, that last but not least, anti-lock braking systems. If I had a room of 100 people and I said, tell me how your ABS braking system works. How do you use it? If your ABS light is on in the dash, it's non-functional. And it can save you from having a really bad wreck, especially this time of the year. I would not want to be in a vehicle that has an ABS light on and it has not been scanned and repaired. Again, it is a fairly easy system to diagnose because when we get into the system, it will tell us where the culprit is, which wheel, which sensor is not working, and the computer can't see it. It's out of sync, in other words. So ABS is, if you think of ABS, anti-lock braking systems, like having 4 synchronized swimmers on your vehicle. So each wheel is a synchronized professional swimmer. And they have to work in unison with one another for the system to work and keep the vehicle straight. And I'm going to tell you this. If you don't have winter tires on this time of year, or the rubber you have on the car is not good whatsoever, and you know it, ABS will not save your butt. Period. None of these things that I just talked about will save your butt. The vehicle needs to be in top drawer condition all the way around. No service lights on, no anti-skid lights on, no SRS lights on. All these systems are designed to keep you and your occupants in your vehicle safe while in your care. And if that doesn't bother you, that's great. You know what? If it's just you in the car and something goes wrong, it's you to blame and it's you that's going to be affected, and that's it. But you know what? It's always the innocent people that get sucked in to that nightmare. And I've experienced that for 44 years in the automotive service and repair business. Safety-related things, items that keep the driver and its occupants safe in any condition, whatever should happen, should be a priority, not put on the back burner. Ever, 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 ever. So how many of you know actually what the ABS, the anti-lock braking system, does? Have you ever experienced it and you know what it feels like? Because it can be scary And it can take you by surprise, and most people will let off the brake pedal. But that's not how it works. And, here's how I used to help my clients at our automotive repair shop on the Hamilton Mountain. I'd say, take your vehicle. After the stores are closed, go to the supermarket. Go to the mall. Go to a big open parking lot. And if there's even one lamppost in there, keep an eye on that lamppost because you might just hit it. And that's happened. That has happened more times than often. Is get the vehicle driving and then hammer that brake and stand on it and keep your foot right on it. So what you want to do is you want to get the vehicle sliding and then hit that brake pedal and do not let up. And it's going to scare you. The first time the ABS system comes on, the whole vehicle shudders like an aircraft. Just one set of wheels has just hit the runway. The plane shudders and then the flaps come down all the way down to get that plane slowed down. The pilot's applying the brake. The plane shudders, doesn't it? All the seats are kind of, and then it comes to a standstill and it calms down. Your ABS is going to do that. It's going to be loud, and it's going to come on quick, and your foot's going to vibrate hard, and the car's going to shake, and you're going to think, did the wheels just come off? No, your ABS is working. So that's why the best teacher that I can send you to is a snow-covered, icy-covered parking lot. Get the vehicle driving in a straight line and then hit the brakes and hold that brake pedal and watch what happens. The ABS will light up, it will come on, and here's the secret. When you feel that ABS unit kick in, it's going to scare you. As I said, most people will panic. What's going on? That's normal. You do not let up on the brake pedal. So if you're going down the road, the vehicle starts to slide, you get on that brake pedal and let the ABS system take over, but do not release the brake pedal. Concentrate on steering. Right? It's like in the air, in an airplane. Aviate, navigate, fly the plane. Something goes wrong with the aircraft, those are the three things you do not stop doing. You don't get up out of the seat and start looking out of the windows. Hey, where are we going? What's down there? Hey, what's going on? Where am I going to land? No, it's aviate, navigate, fly the plane. When ABS is on, hold that brake pedal down and steer. That's all you need to do. And you really need to practice it because it will scare the bejeebies out of you when it happens. You will not expect it. And this is an area where when I was working at a dealership up in the Cambridge area for one of the major car manufacturers, I brought this forward to the sales staff. I said, how many of you take the moment to teach your clients, your customer, about the anti-lock braking system? Even peel open their owner's manual out of their vehicle and tag the pages for ABS, SRS, skid control, and stability control, and talk about it and teach them. Deer in the headlights look. I go, that's a zero, right? Make the sale. Be happy with the customer. Give them the keys. La-di-da, out the door. They have no idea what to expect. So again, best advice I can give you. Crack open that book that's pristine in the glove box called the Owner's Manual and look up those areas and read it. Absolutely read it. And get your vehicle into a parking lot for half an hour. Get yourself a takeout beverage, your favorite beverage, lock it down in your cup holder, and go and play with your car on the icy, snowy surface and get a feel for how it works, how that ABS system works. And I have actually had that happen to me a couple of years ago, heading into Stevensville. And there's a section of road there that's wide open, and it blows, it drifts. It's an ugly section of road. And I was in the FJ Cruiser. I had my snowies on, and I got into all of a sudden an area where the snow was blowing across the road. I got into zero visibility literally in seconds. I could not see anything around me whatsoever. The truck went into a yaw. It went totally sideways. First thing I did, I hammered on the brake pedal, and I couldn't see if somebody was coming towards me, and I didn't even know what lane I was in because the road was like really thick with snow, but I went totally sideways. I stomped on the brake pedal, and I steered it. And the thing went from being totally sideways, it swung around to a little bit to the left, and then it straightened itself up. And after I finished peeing my pants and everything else at that point, I came out the other side, and there was one car coming towards me in the distance. But I didn't hit anything. I didn't lose control. The ABS system got the truck back and square. And how does it do that? It pulses your brakes for you by itself. So it puts the brakes, turns the brakes on, off, really, really fast to get your vehicle squared up again. So that's why I've talked about on other podcasts and even on our YouTube channel, teaching you about these systems and showing you the components that make it work. Having equal braking all the way around on your automobile right now in the nastiest weather we could ask for, icy, slippery, slushy road surface. And again, I don't know how any of you are able to go out on the icy, snowy, slushy covered roadways in all season tires, because we're going to shoot a video and show you what your vehicle looks like and how unstable it is, because I have one here that is not going out on the road until there's winter tires on it. It has to have a safety inspection yet, but it is unstable to drive on ice and snow. Totally. Like I can feel the vehicle floating. It would take nothing whatsoever, and it's real-time all-wheel drive, so if the front wheels spin, the back wheels are going to lock up. But you know what? The tires are all season. They're hard as a rock. They're not grabbing anything. That vehicle is going to go out of control in no time flat and take you wherever it wants to go. So having braking system equal all the way around, and on that vehicle, just did all the brakes back in beginning of October. All of it. Gutted it. Done everything. Absolutely everything, including the emergency brake, completely all new. Everything is 100%. And that vehicle completely unstable. Absolutely unstable. So I took it for a little drive on purpose to an area where I could feel it. And I'm going, this thing is scary right now. If I was in traffic and it's behaving like this, slipping around, it just kind of finding its way on the road into the nearest groove and sliding into it, I have no control. And if I was in traffic, I would, on icy, snowy, slush-covered road surface, one wrong move, and I cause the wreck. So ABS can only help you get the vehicle straight if, A, you know how to use it, you understand how it works, you're not shocked by it, and you know what your next move is when the ABS kicks in, is aviate and steer the vehicle, right? That's how you prevent a plane from crashing, is focus on the three things: aviate, navigate, and fly the plane. Your car's exactly the same. Aviate. You're watching your surroundings. You know where you are. You're looking. You're checking for objects, things that you might hit, and avoid them. Aviate, navigate. Get the thing steered. Steer it. Focus on steering the vehicle. ABS is on. It's chattering because your vehicle's slipped sideways a little bit. It's wiggle-waggling. Steer it. Control it. Let the ABS system take it from there. But learn it, because all these systems together working in your automobile saves lives, folks. That's why I'm here. To teach you, educate you, have some fun, be a stooge and an idiot all at the same time. I'm good with that. I like coffee, and I like helping people. So, till next time, keep it under 100. Stay tuned in for another Motormouth Tech Tip. Let your friends, family, neighbors know where we are on iHeartRadio and all podcasting platforms, Spotify, Amazon, Apple, and any other ones that are out there. There's lots of them. Just put in the search bar, Car Connection Workshop. Come and join us and learn the aspects of your automobile that could save you or somebody else's life as well. Those systems are there to help us and to keep us all safe. So, happy motoring, friends, and we'll see you tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. for another Motormouth morning drive. Put that coffee on. We're going to come to your house.